This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. In the age of Donald Trump's presidency, there's a lot of news that gets reported that, because of its importance, in any other administration would dominate the news cycle for weeks, if not months. But because of scandal after scandal after scandal within the Trump government, countless stories get reported on and then find themselves in a graveyard of news that didn't garner appropriate public attention. Well, this weekend, a story was reported by the New York Times, and while we don't yet know whether the story itself will live on beyond this week, there was one short paragraph within the story that is a bombshell and needs every set of patriotic American eyes on it. And sadly, because of the frenetic pace of reporting that I just talked about, it may just disappear like so many others. You see, the Times is reporting on an American operation to combat Russia's aggression using technology. According to the New York Times, the United States is stepping up digital incursions into Russia's electric power grid in a warning to President Vladimir Putin and a demonstration of how the Trump administration is using new authorities to deploy cyber tools more aggressively, current and former government officials said. In interviews over the past 3 months, the officials described the previously unreported deployment of American computer code inside Russia's grid and other targets as a classified companion to more publicly discussed action directed at Moscow's disinformation and hacking units around the 2018 midterm elections. First, this is very good news that we are taking proactive measures to present some very real resistance against the efforts of a malignant enemy like Russia's Vladimir Putin. We cannot go into yet another election tied up in the backseat of our own car while Russia drives us off a cliff. And while this news is fantastic, there is one element that is both alarming and in a strange way comforting. And here's why. You see, inserted just about 780 words into this 2,100-word piece from David Sanger and Nicole Perlroth, this paragraph reveals that 2 administration officials said they believed Mr. Trump had not been briefed in any detail about the steps to place implants, software coded that can be used for surveillance or attack inside the Russian grid. Pentagon and intelligence officials describe broad hesitation to go into detail with Mr. Trump about operations against Russia for concern over his reaction and the possibility that he might countermand it or discuss it with foreign officials, as he did in 2017 when he mentioned a sensitive operation in Syria to the Russian foreign minister. That is stunning. Trump has not been briefed in any detail about operations in Russia, and our military and intelligence community have broad hesitation to go into any detail with Trump about operations against Russia for concern over his reaction, and here it is, and the possibility that he might discuss it with Russian foreign officials. Sit with that for a moment. The individual who currently occupies the highest office in the land, the President of the United States of America, cannot be trusted by loyal, career military and intelligence officials who have dedicated their entire lives to the security of this country and its people. Our intel community has credible fears that if they brief Donald Trump on their cyber operations within Russia, he will run to the Russians and tip them off. Or in other words, our military and intelligence community believe that there is a chance that if Donald Trump was armed with certain intel, he would act as a foreign agent. Essentially, we have Benedict Arnold in the White House, a double agent in the Oval Office. Now, I said that this was both alarming and comforting. Well, it's alarming for obvious reasons, and comforting in the respect that we have hard-charging professionals who are doing what it takes to secure our country from a hostile foreign enemy, even if that means keeping in the dark this traitorous con artist masquerading as an American president.